Hey guys, welcome back. Nikki, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Oh, back in Cleveland. It's cold and snowy.
Yeah, same here. Same in good old Rhode Island.
Yeah, not like we were anywhere sunny for the last few days. I mean, Baltimore was sunny, but it's still Baltimore.
I
So,
mean, honestly, it was cold. It was cold. And like I woke up early for a run one morning so I can attest to how cold it was.
yeah, well, I don't do running, so I wasn't outside for that, but it was cold. It was cold and gross. It's really cold and gross here. As a matter of fact, we've not had much of a winter here in Cleveland. And I paid for snowplow service, so I'm kind of like oddly excited about snow because I feel like I'm finally getting my money's worth.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? Like I have my own, hand driven snowplow, and I didn't want to use it this year. So like, screw it, I'm just gonna pay somebody. So
Yeah.
forked over the $300, and then it hasn't snowed all season. I'm like, man,
So you pay once and that's it for the whole season?
well, you have two choices. So you can either just pay once and you're done for the whole season, or you can pay by the half, right? And gamble that it's not going to snow if you decide
Oh,
not to pay the second half. But this is Cleveland; it snows all the way until April. So
wait, no, we pay per storm.
you guys are weird in Rhode Island. Look, I live in the snow belt. It's going to snow in
I
Cleveland.
live in New England. It's going to snow.
I
That's why
live
we pay per storm.
no, see, I live right off Lake Erie. We get this lake effect snow. It's ridiculous, and I'm like right in the belt, so it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. First year
Mm,
I moved here, we got like 35 inches. First weekend, I thought I'd moved to
damn.
like the third level of hell. It was
Yeah.
terrible, absolutely
Yeah.
terrible.
Like that
But
for me when I lived in northern Maine. It was like, oh, a day without snow is a rarity.
I'm a little glad to be back, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm enjoyed Baltimore, but I was glad to get back to Cleveland. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was the same. I went straight from the Mayhem Classic to Baltimore on Oh Hi
I
Bean.
know. I meant to say I'm gonna start putting these on YouTube, so everyone watching on YouTube now gets to see my cat because this is how Bean rolls.
Oh
But
my God, he's so cute. I love him.
he is.
Hi.
You want to say hi, Bean?
Who's a handsome boy? He looks
I am.
pissed.
He always looks pissed. That's
I
his
know.
normal look.
I love him.
I'm just kind of waiting for him to go totally crazy on me right here.
Like scratch you in the face.
Yeah,
I love
it
him.
would not be uncommon, but
But no, I agree. I'm glad to be home. I went straight from Mayhem to Baltimore, and so it was a little bit of a whirlwind few days there. But no, it's good to be back. I had a freaking blast at the summit.
I
It
did
was
too.
so cool. It was like, first of all, I kept being like, why am I here? Like everyone here is like a major like fitness influencer, like beautiful human being. And I'm like the troll in the corner with a measly like 10K followers. Like everyone else was like fitness social media royalty and like also like really wonderful lovely people who are promoting good messages and being honest about health and fitness and their journeys and all this stuff and I think like why am I here, but this is so much fun.
That's because you were rolling with the meme lord.
It's
Come
like
on.
100% that's why I was there.
I
um
actually had the same feeling. I got there and I'm like, I'm talking to these people that do real fitness, and I'm like, all right, I make jokes. That's what I do.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was it was fun though. I'm still a little out of it, but yeah, I figure we could spend some time talking about it. I'm gonna give a disclaimer before we jump in to everyone. So we were given a ton of stuff
Yeah.
Under Armour, so everything we're gonna be talking about was unpaid for. So I get you could call this an ad to some degree because we didn't pay for it, but you guys, I think everyone that follows me know that I pretty much just say whatever's on my mind.
Yeah,
So
and well, truthfully, I think part of the cool thing about it was for people like us, like again, we were not paid to be there, but we were invited to like learn about the marketing platform that they're sort of starting kicking off for the next 2 years and what it means to them and how they got there. And they gave us a ton of their new product to try and test out because they are looking for obviously like the influencers who have a lot of followers. If they like it, they're hoping they say something about it on their pages and then people go out and buy it. That's business 101, especially in 2020. Almost at 2019. But also, they are looking for like real honest feedback from people in the industry that they look to for their expertise and influence. So, no, like hashtag not an ad, not paid. I wish we got paid, but we'll be totally honest about the things that we got that we tried out because I think that makes a lot of sense for them from a branding perspective. Like they want to be as available and accessible to all different types of athletes. So I don't think they're afraid of constructive criticism or feedback either, which is pretty cool for a brand.
Well, and I'll certainly give some constructive. I mean, I'd never really worn Under Armour before. I mean, prior to going to this, I had only used Under Armour for like compression undershirts.
Hmm.
I own a couple, and I would like if I was going to do the open or like had some really hard long run, I would wear them just to pull the sweat away. But that's the only thing I knew Under Armour was good for. And then maybe I don't know, maybe a year or so ago, they came out with the Tri-Base Rain ones,
Hmm.
and I put in just a straight up suck up on my story begging for some free shoes, and Marquand Jones came through and gave me a pair. And so that's when I kind of got my first taste of, all right, maybe Under Armour's trying to get into this functional fitness space. I don't know if they're
Yeah.
intentionally saying CrossFit, but certainly more cross training, since more people are starting to do that, because obviously more groups than just CrossFit do functional fitness. And the
Do
shoes
they
were,
though?
well, there's boot camps and
Yeah, no, no, no. You're right. You're right.
and
They do.
a lot of people doing that. And truthfully, like their first shoe was good. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't say it's my favorite shoe that I own. Like I have everything but Metcons, because Metcons don't fit me right, and
Hmm.
I don't have Nobles because they haven't given me a free pair. Hint, hint. And
Wink,
you know,
wink.
yeah, talk to Rory about that. Anyway, so but I would put it in like kind of in the middle, the ones, and so I was excited to go to get my first look at the twos, which I actually have next to me. Look at these.
Ooh, there they are.
Don't they look brighter on the screen than they did in
They
person?
are bright.
I know.
Hello. I loved it because I could like the men's colorways are really, really fly. I personally like loud, bright shoes or whatever. But it was great because all weekend or whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you could see people like part of the group, part of the summit from like 2 fucking miles away.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
'cause it
well,
looks like your
so
feet are on fire.
yeah, if anyone's going to listen to this and they don't watch it on YouTube, the color we were calling it neon salmon or like electric salmon, which
Electric
is it's
salmon.
kind of like a crazy peach color. I don't know. It's super loud, and we all had running shoes the same color. Somebody asked me what it was like. I was like, it looks like we're going to a cult, but it's a colorblind cult. Like no one should be able to see anything. They were so bright, and I
It
understand why
was
they did it. Not my personal color of choice, but they're actually kind of growing on me. And
I like it.
to Under Armour's credit, I've worn these things 5 days in a row now. I've done all my wads in them. We'll talk about that. But every time I wear them, somebody's like, "Oh my god!" Like they stop and look, and then they're like, I've had multiple people go, "I love those. I love the color," and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence on it, but I've
Yeah.
had a lot of people kind of raving about the color. So big props to their marketing team, man. It's definitely an eye catcher.
So I got the lady pair, which was black with like the lace loops are that electric salmon color. And I mean, I love a good colorful shoe, so I would not have had a problem with the ones that are like all bright. But I gotta tell you, like the black ones, they look pretty fly. I really, really like
Well,
them. They
we
look,
could swap if you want this color. I mean, my feet are really big.
I know they'll be like
Take
clown
note,
shoes on
ladies.
me.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, everybody pay attention.
pay attention. My feet are
You know
huge.
what they say, big
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah. I don't know. I did like, I mean, there's a lot of things I like about them. I've worn them, like I said, 5 days now, or five wads. I was at the point today, I realized like I kind of got halfway through my workout and I'm like, I'm not even noticing them, which is a big, for
Right.
me, that's a big plus. Like when I don't think about my feet, don't think about my shoes, it's a big plus. And I was, today was, I wouldn't consider today particularly foot heavy. Like I was doing I had a 20-pound vest, so or rucksack. It was weighted step ups, push ups, and air squats. But I just felt really, really stable, and it's been like that kind of every workout. Like
Yeah.
really kind of comfortable. They're almost like a sock. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. I think I feel the same way. So I have a relatively narrow foot. Relatively, I have a super narrow foot.
Right.
Like I almost need a narrow size. So finding a sneaker, especially that allows my toes enough room to splay naturally, but not feel super wide, like my foot is like I don't know, like sliding around in it is really tough. And I'll wear a wider shoe, like let's just say the Nano Fours. Those are probably like the widest ones that I felt my foot moving around in. I'll tie the laces super tight so that like the sides of the shoe with the leather is like scrunched up, just so that it fits around my arch and my bridge well. I don't have a problem at all with the new Tri-Base Reigns 2s. Like I really like the fit because they feel really snug around the part of my foot that I'm usually having to force. So they like come in really tight knit like a sock, like you said, but there's still enough room in the toe box for my toes to do their thing, which I feel like means it's going to be a really good shoe for everyone who's just not wide. Like you don't have to be super narrow for it to work for you. If you're super narrow like I am and you have a hard time with that, maybe this will be better for you. But as long as you don't have a super wide foot, I think these will probably be really comfortable. They feel to me a lot like my original Innovates. Like when I,
Yes, I was going to
yeah,
the old blue ones.
yeah,
Were
little
those?
F-Light 235s or like
Yes.
whatever they were. Like before Reebok even came into the game and we were all wearing Innovates for this, they feel like that snug, comfortable, and stable around my foot, but they feel a lot firmer. And that's not to say that they're not cushiony. They just have a really solid base and a really supportive heel. So we were doing snatches in them the other day when we were together still in Baltimore, and I had zero problems. Like snatching in my old Innovates, maybe a little bit soft for that, but these feel like the best of both worlds. I really like them.
Well, those old Innovates, because I still have a pair, so they're not that old, but and I still wear them because I love them. They're one of my favorite shoes. But in the midfoot, the sole is like really narrow, and so they're hard to lift in. I mean, they're designed to be trail shoes anyway, or
Right.
like outdoor
Exactly.
running shoes.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, they're kind of hard to lift in, and that front toe on the old Innovates would like kind of tear away during burpees.
Mm-hmm.
These have that totally flat bottom with a little bit of a lift in the heel, which for me felt way better. They're also I wear the Nano Nines more than anything else, the nines and the twos, and the difference between these and the nines have a much bigger toe box than these.
Yes.
But I find the nines, if you don't use that extra loop up around your ankle, they're
Mm-hmm.
coming off, or your foot's going to be wiggling around in there. With this, I haven't run into that yet. Now, on the critical side, I have kind of two different size feet, which is my fault, not Under Armour's fault. But
I think
uh,
that's more common than you realize.
well, yeah, my point is, it's like as I was doing burpees, my right foot kind of pushes out into the toe, so it hurt a little doing burpees. Just on the
Hmm.
right foot, the left foot was fine. So I'd like to try a 10.5 just to see if there was a difference, but
Yeah.
they feel fine walking around. I did Fight Gone Bad yesterday, which was a ton of box jumps, and they were great for box jumps. And
Yeah.
and, and then the day before that, I did a couple of hundred double unders in the wad, and
I
it
went
felt
up
fine
half
then
a
too.
size too, weirdly enough. I go up, it's so funny. I weirdly go up half a size in like every sneaker. Like I'm a size 8 all around, like pump or flat or whatever, like daytime lady shoe or nighttime lady shoe, whatever you want to call it. But like every sneaker I have, I feel more comfortable in 8.5. I don't know why, except Nobles, which you wouldn't know anything about
I
those.
wouldn't know anything about that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, so I went up to an 8.5 in these and they felt way better.
probably like the things I really liked about the shoe, like the kind of my short list was it has that sock feel because there's no tongue,
Yep.
right? Much like my dating life. And then,
Wah,
no,
wah.
it's got this hard rubber heel and it kind of flares out at the bottom, which I'm
Mhm.
guessing are for handstand push-ups. That was my best guess, and I
I think
like it
it
for
just
that.
gives you more stability for lifting, almost like the way a lifter has like a little bit of a platform heel.
Well, I meant like this part right here. See this little hook, like right here.
Oh, I thought that
I'm
was like
just
a show.
imagine yeah, I'm just imagining like going up and down a wall, like it's keeping you from like kind of destroying the backs of your feet on a
Hmm.
wall. But I could be wrong about that. I've not used them in handstand push-ups yet. I also have not used them in rope climbs. I heard John David told us they were great for rope climbs, but
Yep,
I don't know if he's good at rope climbs or not. He could be full of crap.
it could be.
He could be totally full of crap. And then my only other complaint was I liked the running shoes that were the exact same color, had more like black fleck in the toe and on the side, and I liked that better.
Oh,
Just
you did. This is the
aesthetic, just
pattern.
yeah, just aesthetically,
Yeah.
it's just so much neon,
I love it
whatever.
though.
Yeah.
My only qualm with them is so, like you said, they're sort of formulated like a sock, especially around your ankle, and the back of it. just because they're brand new for me, kind of like tilts in, right? So the back of the shoe is nice and soft like a sock, but it's constantly rubbing against the back of my ankle. And I think this is just a matter of breaking them in. I haven't had any like abrasions or blisters or anything like that, but I have been wearing some running socks with them that are a little bit taller in the back so that it doesn't rub right up against the back of my foot to start. I don't really think that's going to be a problem down the road, but the first couple times you wear shoes before they break in, before they loosen up a little bit, if they're like just touching you in the same spot over and over again, sometimes that can give a blister. So kind of these shoes, but also really any new shoes, I go for the taller socks the first few times I wear them, just to make sure that they're not like giving me like a gross like Achilles rash or something.
Yeah. It's like an Amish boyfriend, just always rubbing up against your ankles.
Just always up in my ankle. I have been told I have really nice ankles.
I know you shouldn't make fun of other people, other groups of people, but Amish don't listen to podcasts, so what do I care?
John David told me he was jealous of my ankles.
Well, I mean, we saw his ankles, so that's why.
He was like, those people with like nice, thin ankles. Screw you guys.
Got them thick boy ankles.
That's right. That's right. I'll be careful not to, roll up my jeans around and make me feel bad.
Now, I'll tell you what my favorite part of the shoe is.
Yeah.
It was free. That was absolutely my favorite.
Free 99?
I know. I will always take free. No, I liked them. I mean, like, even in light of being free, they're significantly better than the tri-base ones, which I also got free. So I got no reason to say one's better than the other. I mean, this is significantly better. I tried on a Metcon like a week ago, and they still don't fit me. Still really tight. And these, and so these, much better toe box, kind of tighter in the midfoot. So I told someone earlier, for me, they're right in between the two shoes, between the Metcons and the Nanos. Like, I thought it was a good blend between the two. And if I had to guess, I'm saying they're probably one release away from being perfect, really like figuring out like what these shoes should be. This is so much better than the last ones.
Mm-hmm.
I need a couple more weeks to decide if they're better than the Nano 9s. I can't say they are. I love them though. I'm going to wear them a bunch. I mean, I certainly think they're worth what they're charging for them. So.
Totally. Yeah. I love them. I think for me, for my foot shape, these are probably, I can't foresee them getting much better than this. I really like the way that they feel. The cool thing was that we wore them all day while we were like touring their innovation floor and like looking at all the new products and stuff. And no flat shoe, like no CrossFit shoe is good walking around, standing around in for like 12 hours. They just aren't. They're not cushiony. Like, that's why running shoes are so much better in general if you're going to be on your feet for a long time. That's why we wear them for like a 1 hour class and then we get out of them typically. And especially like, I remember days when we used to work events like regionals and sanctionals have sort of taken over that, but really our regionals days were long. We were on our feet for like 14, 16 hours a day as part of the media team, just because you get there early and there's so much that goes into the broadcast. And, I personally would be on the sidelines all day running up and down. I mean, where'd my watch? I'd walk like 8-9 miles a day in the span of a regional. And they would always give us the brand new Nanos, and that is so nice of them. Like, to this day, I'm like, I can't believe I got so many cool free pairs of shoes. And no matter how comfortable they were, they killed my feet after like standing around in them for 14 hours. There's no shoe that's good for that. There's nothing you can do. So what was really impressive for me is they were brand new. I put them on like Tuesday morning or whatever, and we were basically out for like 8 or 9 hours. We were just gone. Like, Under Armour was touring us around and we were walking around their buildings and doing whatever. And at the end of the night, like my feet didn't hurt at all. I didn't need to take them off. I wasn't rushing to like do a hot foot soak or anything like that. Like, that's a really good sign for me, especially considering that I know how difficult it can be to stand around in flat shoes like that all day. So
the hotel we were staying in was so nice, they probably would have given you a hot foot rub if you'd asked.
I know, if I just asked. Well, they offered you turn down service at like 9 p.m.
I still don't know what that was. Lady knocks on my door, 9 p.m. It's like, Mr. Willie, would you like turn down service? I'm like, is she offering me sex? Like,
I know. I was like, do you want me to leave?
I'm like, is this place that nice? Like, all right. Like,
all right.
Let's hear it for the Four Seasons.
Can you charge this to my room?
I know. It was a little ridiculous. I thought they were comfortable in that regard. I wouldn't say my feet were hurting, but I'm not sure they felt significantly different than other shoes I wear for that amount of time. Now, I will say the running shoes did. So they gave us a pair of their they call the hovers. Is that right? HOVR.
Yep.
And they have a Bluetooth chip in them. So you can,
So cool.
yeah, so you can sync it up to your watch and to your phone. Yeah, but it got me basically felt up in the airport.
Well, but you liked it.
Well, TSA has a gentle touch. Yeah, I mean, like you'd think they'd never seen a shoe with a Bluetooth chip before. Like they run it through I watched the whole thing go down. I knew it was going to happen. Like,
Yep.
I see the shoes go through the X-ray and I see them see the little blue dot that's in the middle. I'm like, all right, here we go. And
Here we go.
sure as a world, they had to swab my hands and they, no telling what they found on there. And then they swabbed the shoes and then they're like, all right, we got to pat down your sweats. And I'm like, all right.
Hey.
Can we just go in the back somewhere? I mean, get this over with.
Can you take me to dinner first?
I know. They didn't even talk dirty to me, buy me a coffee, nothing. Like, it was rough. But so I didn't wear the shoes through the airport coming back, but they were super comfortable. And I've worn them a few times. And
so have I. I went on a run with them today and really liked them.
What is up with all this running?
I don't know. I'm just trying. I'm trying to be so fit, man. Just trying.
I'm trying to be fit without running. That's the trick.
I know. I want to get better at running. It's a goal. It's a goal.
I want nothing to do with running.
I got real good at it a few years ago. I take that back. I got good at running slow because I will never run fast or uphill unless there's like zombies chasing me. But I ran the New York City Marathon in 2017, so I got like real good at running consistent 10-minute miles for a long time. And ever since then, I've been shit at running. So I'm trying to get back there. We'll see.
I did that once. I vowed I would never do it again.
Yeah, no, never another marathon. Fuck that. That was a one and done bucket list. Coolest thing I've ever done in my life. 100%. I would relive that moment, but I'm all set with the marathon.
See, I ran the Akron Marathon, which is not nearly as cool as the marathon that you ran.
No, it is not.
People are not coming from all over the world to run the Akron Marathon. Like, oh, can I run past the Goodyear plant? That sounds great.
Sounds awesome. I've always wanted that. Check it off the bucket list.
Hey, there are parts of Akron that are really pretty.
I'm sure.
I don't remember any of them because I was basically just out of my mind for the last 6 miles. And about I would never do a race like that again. Yeah, no, me either. Unless no, I don't think I would. I feel obligated to take these running shoes out for a run now, though. I mean, they were free, and at some point I probably should do some sort of product review for them. But there's snow on the ground, so they're going to have to wait till the spring. No, I was on the treadmill today because snow, and I'm a fair weather runner. Like it needs to be above 50 degrees for me to even step outside, which is insane that I woke my ass up at 6 a.m. and went outside with Under Armour runners who are actually runners in like 35-degree weather. That will never happen again. You can always tell the runners, like they're all fanatical. They got their watch and they're all like super tall and skinny. Dude, they just look like runners. Okay, did we talk about this on the last podcast? Because I don't want to repeat myself. Okay, this was so stupid. When we got there, we could sign up for a whole bunch of different workouts, right? Super cool. Under Armour, like they had an awesome itinerary. But by the time I got there, a lot of the classes were taken, including your 6 a.m. yoga class, which I would have totally gone to with you. But it was booked. The only thing that was available was this morning run. And I was like, fuck it. Like, I can't possibly be the only non-runner who signed up for this. So they dropped us off a suitcase full of gear, which was so fucking cool. And I was like, and the clothing was bundled in different piles. And one of the piles said run. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm going to put on all this gear, right? So compression jacket and a hat and gloves and like all these things. And I was like, great. So guess what? We lost all of that somehow in the connection. Oh, your internet connection is unstable? I don't know. Just like we just got a big freeze there. Okay, so tell the story again, right at yoga. Oh my God, I couldn't sign up for yoga. Had to sign up for a run. They dropped me off a bunch of clothes that were all labeled run, so I put them all on, right? I've had every layer was on. The podcast is now complete, by the way. Your notifications going off. Coming through. You're welcome. I have them on my phone so that won't even come through my computer. You can blame my mom. She just me. Yes. Anyway, okay, so I put on all of my new Under Armour gear and I think to myself, there's no fucking way that I'm the only CrossFitter that signed up for this shit. Like, it's going to be fine. There's going to be a ton of people. Some of them will be advanced. Some of them will be not. It'll be great. And I like go downstairs and like
14 layers and the hat and my gloves, and like everything they gave me because it's freezing and 6 a.m. and the sun isn't up. And when I get downstairs in the lobby of the hotel, everyone is in shorts and t-shirts. And I was like, oh my fucking God, they're all runners. They're like hardcore. I run in a club in some freezing place with a t-shirt and a hat on. Like, it's all those people and me. And I was like, dear Lord, oh, it's going to be the most embarrassing morning of my life.
Oh, you did fine. It was only a 5K,
It was
right?
only 5K. Yeah, it was fine. I was actually middle of the pack the whole time until the last K, right? Which was entirely uphill. Entirely. And I'm talking about like we ran uphill for 7 minutes straight, like 6 minutes straight. Bullshit. I was like, I went from middle of the pack to like damn near last.
I've been there.
Oh, it was rough.
I had a race one year. I did a half marathon in Cleveland, and the last 3 miles, when you, at least in that year, they made you run down the shoreway. And for those of you that have never been to Cleveland, we have this really pretty shoreway. It overlooks Lake Erie, obviously, and you can see downtown as you're coming in, but you can see it forever. And it looks like it's right there, but it's not right there.
Nope.
You're just running and running and running and running, and most of it's uphill, and it's just, it's exhausting.
Dude, I was like, if the bus is not at the top of this fucking hill, I swear to God. And it was, which was great. But then the leader was like, okay, who wants to like, you can either get on the bus and go back, or you can run 2 more miles to get back to the hotel. And I was like, see ya. And like me and 4 other people got on the bus, and the other 30 people ran the rest of the way.
Oh, no, thank you. See, I was happy in my little yoga, and it was an easy yoga class. It was actually just kind of like stretching, which was nice. It was just too early. That was my only real issue with it. But good for you and your run.
Oh,
not for me. It's not for me. I thought the whole event was great. I mean, kind of give everybody the rundown. I mean, they brought us in. We're at the Four Seasons, which was super swank. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a hotel that nice. I have not. Like, I stayed a couple of weekends ago. I was bringing my girls back from Mississippi. We stayed at the Holiday Inn Express. It was not as nice. I know this is shocking.
Wow.
It was not as nice as the Four Seasons in Baltimore, which had an infinity pool and an ice skating rink.
So cool. It was rad. It was beautiful. And that's what I'm saying, is I kept being like, what did I do to deserve being treated this nice? Because this hotel is stunning. We got there. They had sent us like a big box of Under Armour stuff to wear on our trip out there, which maybe was not the most fashionable gear.
Oh, I look like I was selling watches on the side of the street in New York. First of all, I'm wearing the sweatpants that I was wearing that day, and they're really comfortable. They said sweatpants and a workout shirt, and then this zip-up jacket that I should have worn for this since it's on video. That made me look like an Adam Sandler character. Like, it was brown and white, and it was rough looking.
Color block was a little 80s on you, but that's fine. It's not
a good look for me. It might be a good look for someone. Was not a good look for me.
So they sent us a bunch of gear to wear when we got there. Like, again, they picked us up from the airport. We're like treated like royalty. I couldn't believe it. We get to the Four Seasons. We sign up for all these classes. Like, it was so cool. And then what did we do? I don't remember what we did right away. Oh, yeah, we took a water taxi to get evaluated, which we've already talked about.
Wait. They gave us a backpack when we got there. So you get there, they give you this really awesome backpack. It's, it's designed for laptops, so I'll use it a bunch. But in it was a new pair of JBL Under Armour earbuds, wireless earbuds,
which I used today for the first time. And
yeah, they're nice. They're
really like.
I like them a lot, and because I used them on the flight back. And then they also gave us a Samsung Galaxy Watch, which I've worn every day and love it.
Same. I have it on right now.
I have an Apple Watch, and I like this just as well. Like,
I do too. Yeah.
I was pretty pumped by that. So that's going to save me some money on buying a new watch, because I was getting new watch fever.
Ooh, there you go.
I know, right? Anyway, and then we had to go take the water taxi and get evaluated, and I'm still emotionally scarred over that.
Right, which we've already talked about that. But then when we got back, they delivered a piece of luggage to our room, like an Under Armour suitcase full of stuff. And I just found myself all weekend being like, I don't know what I have done to deserve being treated this nicely. This the nicest thing ever.
I know my daughters told me that at their school, them and all their friends have decided I'm the second most famous dad in all of Beechwood High School.
Wow. Who's the
Because I got
first most famous dad?
Machine Gun Kelly, who's an actual, real star. So
Oh,
yeah, he's a
yeah.
rapper. I'm sure rap is your thing, but he's kind of a big deal.
Oh,
So,
I know who Machine Gun Kelly is. Oh my God.
hey, yeah, I didn't make you for a rap fan. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Actually, I'm a huge rap fan.
Are you?
Yeah,
Come on, spit some bars. Let's go.
I didn't say that I was good at it. I just said I like listening to it. God.
Yeah, well, yeah. So apparently, I'm second to Machine Gun Kelly, but I can take that. Like, I'm good with that. That's good, right?
That's actually, yeah. I mean, you really can't beat that. So
You cannot beat that.
no. Cool.
But yeah, the suitcase is very cool.
Yeah,
Beans,
that's awesome.
I've had it on my kitchen table. Beans slept on it 3 times now.
Nice.
It's like a little bed for him. It's super comfortable, apparently. But I love the stuff in it. I only want to talk about the stuff I felt was CrossFit usable.
Yeah.
Because they gave us like a ton of stuff. I thought the kind of the 2 big additions were what's the line I'm wearing here?
The Rush.
The Rush. Yes, the Rush line is really good. Now, I want everyone listening to this has got to take this for what it's worth. I'm a huge Lulu snob. Everyone knows this.
So am I.
Well established as a Lulu snob. So I'd never worn this Under Armour stuff before. I like it. Like, it's comfortable. The shirts are comfortable. I've worked out in them. I've worn the tights. They make my butt look good. So I get it, ladies. I get it.
Yeah.
I wish they were high-waisted because I'm muffin topping like nobody's business. It's not good, but I like the tights. They're good. And the shirts are good I've worn the Rush shirts in 2 workouts now. Super light. They don't stay soaking wet when you're sweating a bunch.
That's what I like about them the most is they dry off really fast. And the compression tights that I got, the Rush ones, were awesome. And like, I have some more traditional running leggings, like especially when I was training for the marathon, because usually when you buy them from other companies, like I have a couple of pairs of New Balance ones, for example, they're a little bit thicker, right? So you can like run outside or train outside or whatever. And I just don't wear those in the gym ever because I wear my Lulus and I don't feel more versatile to me. But these compression tights that I put on, the Rush ones, felt like I could use them like I use my Lulus. Like, I can run outside in them if it's cold, not a big deal, but also I could totally wear them for a WOD. And I haven't actually put on a pair of leggings like that that's not been from Lululemon since I started wearing Lululemon, I feel like.
All right, so you got to explain a tights thing for me, because this is part of my review. So I'm wearing the Rush tights. It's the ones with the same color that are in the shoes. Now, the tight, for everyone that's not going to see me in them, they're black, and they just have that kind of neon salmon stripe in them, so they match, which is kind of a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I was wearing them in this WOD. The WOD had double unders and toes to bar and sit-ups in them.
Okay.
And so I go to do the sit-ups, and it was kind of a big set. It was 50. And they're ab mat sit-ups, and I kind of gave myself ab mat rash, like,
oh no.
And so I couldn't decide if it was from the tights or because I was wearing underwear under the tights, which I don't know is a faux pas, but I don't own any thongs. I know that's shocking.
Great debate.
So I couldn't decide. Is it the fault of the tights? Was it the way I was using the ab mat? Which, to be honest, I don't think it was, because I was moving kind of like I was intentionally moving slow the way they tell you to. So I got a little ab mat rash. I don't like that feeling.
Do you normally get one?
No.
Okay.
I make a lot of jokes about it. I used to, but I don't anymore because I figured out how to use one.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like that feeling too much. They also I felt like they were riding down a little bit, but I think that might have just been me. I got to give them a few more tries before I really decide if they were or they weren't. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not used to wearing tight, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that maybe, well, I don't have the riding down problem because all the girls' ones are like really tall. They're high-waisted, which is great.
Super jealous.
Yeah, I know. Just tuck in my muffin top.
I'm telling you, high-waisted tight should be a thing for guys.
It should. I feel like it's not fair. We get to hide behind that compression and you don't.
I look like a mushroom that's smuggling a chihuahua. It's ridiculous. Like, it's just the worst look ever.
I get that one weird roll that's like really high where you're like, why do you have like a nipple roll? That's like weird.
Oh, I just want to hide my belly button line. That's all.
Oh
I
yeah,
want
that's
them to come
nice.
up. It's yeah.
I
No.
don't think we don't have enough time on this podcast. It'll have to be its own podcast topic. But I feel like it is the great debate on do you wear underwear underneath your spandex? And I truly think this is like a 50-50, like down the middle split of some ladies who are like, yes, absolutely, that's crazy. It would be wildly uncomfortable if I didn't have like underwear on because I wear it every day and that's how I am. And then there's a ton of other ladies, myself included, who are like, that is some amateur shit. My leggings are too tight. My spandex is too tight to wear anything underneath it. And it's ladies' leggings are stitched with a gusset, like it's stitched with a patch in there basically to act as underwear. So you can go back and forth. There are so many arguments. I think it's a down the middle split. So I can't tell you one way or another. I think you got to find out what works for you. Maybe you just go commando in there. Maybe
Yeah.
we get you a Speedo banana hammock situation to wear when you're wearing it.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I want to try that.
I don't want this, Nikki. Stop, please.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that or not. We'll see. Well, I like them. I mean,
Yeah.
I would also say this is going to sound gross, but I haven't washed the stuff yet because I wanted to see if it smelled.
Does
Like
it smell?
that's my big thing about Lulu. It doesn't smell. Like not, I wash my
What?
clothes, so don't everybody freak out here. But yeah, like you can take off your sweaty Lulu, put it in a pile, and it doesn't smell like wet dog. Like
Oh my
it
God. Yes, it does.
oh, mine
Oh,
doesn't.
oh
Mine
my
absolutely doesn't.
Mine does. Maybe it's just because there's two of us in my house, and I like
Maybe because you have wet dogs in your house.
that is entirely possible.
Oh,
Or I was
beans
gonna say
back.
maybe because I like will run in the morning and lift at night, and so like and Matt does too. I don't know, but like our laundry room entirely smells like wet gym clothes. It's gross.
Yeah, see, mine doesn't.
Really?
And this didn't either. Like at least it hasn't yet. But I don't know. It
I
hasn't
mean,
been sitting. Hadn't been sitting there very long either.
none
So
of
I
it
guess we'll
smells
find out.
after we wash it, but when it's
Well,
dirty,
here's the other. No, this doesn't. Maybe I don't sweat as much as you. Maybe you're just
maybe.
stinky.
I am super stinky. We've been over this.
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also winter, so it's not as hot in the gym. Like I'm not sweating
Yeah,
as
yeah,
much.
yeah.
Like I don't work that hard right now, so could be that. I don't know. It could be a lot of different things. But for now, it hasn't really been stinky.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I think I think the stuff's good. I tell people to try it out. If they like Under Armour, it's worth trying.
Yeah.
If you're stuck on your brands, tiptoe into it, or
Yeah. Just give it a shot. The only other thing that I'll say is that they gave us three different bra. Well, there are two different bras, but three bras. Two of the Rush bras and one of their new Infinity bra. And I did a whole review on these on Joel's page, our buddy Joel, which is he's got the As Many Reviews as Possible YouTube page. So if you want to see the full 6 or 7 minute video, you can go check there. But long story short, finding sports bras that fit is really hard, and the chances of someone just dropping one off at my door and being like, put this on, you'll love it, is really unlikely. But both of those new bras that they're coming out with fit really well, held up really well. I was really impressed by them right off the bat, and I've been wearing them ever since the summit for both runs and workouts in the gym, and I really like them both. So if you have a fuller chest like I do, and sports bras are kind of tough for you to find, I would give them a try. They're called, like I said, the Rush and the Infinity. They're both really rad.
I enjoyed the presentation they gave. I learned something that
Yeah.
women's breasts go up and down, side to side, and in and out. I did not know in and out. I'm like, well, all right, welcome to anatomy class.
Yeah, they did some really cool testing.
That's awesome.
Saying that for days. I was wondering when it was going to come up.
Hey, look, they were like, anybody have any questions? I'm like, I have so many questions, so many questions. I'm just not going to ask. Like, it's just not the right time and place. It was a funny presentation to me because it was two women and a man, and the man looked so uncomfortable. It was just funny.
Yeah, but it was cool. They put those like sensor like dots all over a lady while she ran, like all on her chest and like one each on either of her nipples, and you could like see like on the screen like how her boobs were moving when she ran, and they like apparently moved in like kind of like an infinity pattern, which is why they made that infinity bra the way they did. So apparently there's science to back it. I don't know, it just fits really nicely, and I approve. So
I watched that video 5 times. It was great.
Show me again how they move.
Yeah, can you show me
again.
just one more time?
Do you know what's funny is like when I did this review for Joel's page, and the feedback has been really great, which I'm really happy to see, because apparently, you know, people look to Joel for his expertise in CrossFit gear, and a lot of women are like, but what about lady stuff? And he's just been kind of like, I don't know, I can't really talk about that. So I'm happy to step in and fill in the gap there. But a lot of people have been asking, like, why didn't I like show myself in the bra, or, you know, like explain more about exactly how my boobs are shaped or whatever. And I totally understand that feedback and that criticism. And I like would also want that if I were watching a review, like, okay, so she's talking about the bra, but like, I can't see her in it. So I don't understand when she says it fits this way or doesn't cut into her that way. But then I just thought to myself, like, how many level 5 creeper dudes like just scour YouTube for the words like bra review?
Oh, you'd have so many. So I
was like, fuck, how do I do this and talk about reviewing sports bra, which is actually very helpful information for a lady in sport, without like exposing myself completely to every creeper who's going to search the internet and be like, show me your tits.
Yeah, well,
right?
Listen, it doesn't matter what you do. There's going to be creepers. Like,
I know, but I don't need to be out there in a bra and being like, I wear this size and my nipples point in this direction. Like, right? Tell me something. I know.
Yes, it is. It would be creepy. It would. You
like immediately clear your search history.
I know. I'm clearing my browser history right this second. I have it cleared daily, just in case anything happens. My mom gets my computer. I don't want her to know.
Smart of you. Good boy.
I know. There are so many creepers. I was talking to this girl once. I still talk to her from time to time. She's an influencer online, and she's got like 700,000 followers, right? And so I like to talk to people that have big followings because I learn things from them. And she's like a bikini model, and she does all kind of fitness stuff. She's got an app, like, you know, really nice woman. Anyway, she posted something. I don't even remember what it was. It was in her story, and it sounded dirty. And so I messaged her and said, dude, you're about to get a million DMs from creepers, you know, because it was one of those things. It was like, all right, creepers are going to start hitting on you. She's like, you have no idea. She's like, some guy offered me $25,000 or $5,000 for my pee last week.
What?
Swear to God, $5,000 to pee in a cup and send it to him. I told her, I'm like, I'll do it for $1,000.
Hell yeah, I would do that. Are you kidding me?
I will pee on that guy for $500 right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Send us his info.
Give me his address. So anyone listening, $5,000, Nikki and I will pee in a cup, send it to you. No questions asked.
100%. I have no problem with that. That is some creepy shit.
Right?
I mean, like, not to like kink shame, like people can be into whatever they're into.
Oh, I will.
Like, message a complete stranger and be like, hey, can I pay for your pee? Like, we live in a weird time.
Wait, are we not allowed to kink shame? I think you are. Like, you're not allowed to body shame. You're not allowed to make fun of people for sexual orientation or race. And I support all of that, but I'm going to kink shame a little.
Well, I guess my thing is like, I don't really care what you do. Like, whatever gets your rocks off, like, get your rocks off, bro or girl or however you identify. But like, if I'm just me trying to live a normal life and I feel assaulted by your inquiry of my wanting my pee, then like we have a problem.
Well, I'm gonna financial shame the guy because $5,000 for pee is way too much, dude. Way too much.
Yeah, you know how much street pee you can buy with $5,000?
I'm telling you, people will pee on you for way less.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got tricked into sending foot photos?
No, but I need to hear about this trick.
I was like selling a pair of shoes online, and they were like really expensive, like nice fancy heels, like they were like Christian Dior heels. So I was asking for a lot of money, and some girl was like, I'm really interested, but can you send me a picture of your foot in the shoe? Because sometimes with pumps and stilettos, like they can be really narrow and your like toes can fall off the edge or whatever. And I was like, that's actually a fair question. I wanted like $500 for these used shoes. I should have just Googled a pair or a photo of the pair like from the manufacturer. But I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't run the inquiry by my husband first. I was like, yeah, that's
Oh,
fair. Like, I kind of want the money. So here you go. And like sent, just a couple of pictures of my foot in the shoe. And I never heard back from her. And like after a while, I followed up and I was like, do you still want these? And she was like, I had to be honest, I'm a dude and I just wanted to see pictures of your feet.
nice.
And I was
Nice.
like, oh,
Wow. Props to that guy for running a scam.
coming completely clean, right? But they weren't
Yeah.
even good photos. They weren't like sexy photos of my feet. They were just like, yeah, here you go. Bitch, you want these shoes? Like, tell me what you
Well,
want.
they weren't sexy to you, but to him, they were the world.
Apparently. Oh my God. Matt laughed so hard when I was like, hon, I think I just made a
They're,
mistake.
they're probably framed it on some guy's mantle. God
They're
knows
probably
where.
on some like foot porn site somewhere.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I've never seen them. So just,
Oh, so how would you know? Well,
I don't.
probably by my nice ankles, right?
Yeah, I would. I've seen your
Yeah.
ankles. So, oh my
So
Lord.
I'm really glad everyone knows that story now.
That's a great story. We should have led with that. That would have been a
I
much,
know.
that would have been, I've never done anything that embarrassing. I did have an embarrassing moment this week though. It was
What
fun.
happened?
So I was going to work on Friday and, this has nothing to do with sports, but I was going to work and I needed a cup of coffee and I roll up to the coffee shop I normally go to and it was closed, out of business. I'm like, what the hell? I guess I don't go here often enough. So there's a Starbucks down the street. So I'm like, all right, well, the Bucks is always there for you. So I roll down to Starbucks. I got to drive through, order my Americano, or I pull up to the window and the girl goes, hi, how are you today? That's how she started. I'm like, I'm fine. How are you? And she's like, I'm good. Thanks for asking. And then there was like an awkward pause, right? And she goes, can I start you with something to eat today? And I'm like, well, since you brought it up, sure. I have a turkey sausage, whatever sandwich. They have like this little sandwich that's, relatively low in calories and a large Americano. And she goes, that sounds great. Would you like it hot or cold? And I'm like, I'll take it hot. And she's like, great. Pull up to the window. See you in a few minutes. I go, okay, thanks. Bye. Sort of God.
Bye.
Bye. Like I was hanging up the phone with her. I'm like, what the hell? What was that? It just came running out of my mouth.
Later.
Good talk. It was so weird. We were just having such a conversation. I felt like I was on the phone. I'm like, bye. I'm like, oh my God. When did
Also, I'm about to take credit for you saying bye.
I know. It was so
We
terrible.
do.
It was so terrible.
Someone messaged me on Instagram and said that she was like found herself saying it.
Oh my God. I wanted to run my car into traffic. I almost just ran right through the drive-through, right out into the street.
At least you didn't drop like the accidental "I love you."
Yeah,
Do you
no,
ever
no.
do that? Like when you're talking to like a friend or so, like a coworker, like completely not like for me, it's like clients on the phone. Like you really shouldn't, but like when I hang up with my husband or my mom, like, all right, love you, bye. At least you didn't do like, oh, I'll take an Americano, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. I'll do that next time. Now that we have the special relationship.
Did you say something when you got to the window?
No, I didn't even make eye contact. I just awkwardly handed her my card and looked away. I'm like, I can't look at you.
Money.
We're too close. We're too close now. It was so
like the
weird.
awkward next. It's like your walk of shame, but it's like your pull around of shame.
I know.
Your drive through of shame.
The coffee was good though.
Oh, good. Well, the
Coffee
Starbucks always got your back.
Speaking of coffee, I'm gonna get back to Under Armour a little bit. We had espresso machines in our bedrooms in
So
the
fancy.
hotel
I
rooms.
felt like Mike Richards
I know. I kind of
travels with his espresso machine whenever we go to a CrossFit event. He'll bring his espresso machine from home and set it up in our hotel rooms.
I used one for a pre-workout the day we went to that gym, and I'm kind of thinking I need one now. It'd replace all my pre-workout.
A Nespresso or whatever. Nespresso.
I know. Yeah. Then somebody sent. I put a picture of it in my story, and someone sent me. It was an espresso machine. Somebody sent me a DM and said, "Oh, look, a working Nespresso machine. It's like a unicorn." I'm like, "Oh, apparently they."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently they don't have good reviews. So
Fuck.
there goes that. There goes that pipe dream. Because
I can't like we stock cold brew in the fridge, like bottles and bottles and bottles of cold brew because I go through like a liter every 3 days.
Oh, I still have a few cans of the Verve cold brew. I should reach out to them, tell them I need more freebies.
You should reach out to them and give them my address. Is what
I
you
know.
should do.
I'll do
I
that.
have a friend with a problem. She doesn't know when to not send foot photos, and she drinks too much cold brew.
I'll tell them to send you a case of the cold brew. Trust me, it's good stuff.
Oh my God.
It's the one perk. It's the one real perk of the page.
What I really like is that. Have you ever had Stoke cold brew? STOK.
I don't even drink cold brew otherwise. They just send
Oh,
it to me. I drink it because they send it to me, and it's
okay.
good.
Well, if you see it in the grocery store, I would go for it. It's my favorite one. It's like a blue label and it's unsweetened, and they have a sweetened version, but it just like doesn't do it for me. But for some reason, it's like just the smoothest, nicest. I'm completely addicted.
Well,
Not an ad. Wish it was an
I
ad.
know none of
Freaking
this.
wish they would pay me or send me some product or something, because I'm probably keeping them in business right now.
I know none of this is an ad really, but anyway. Well,
Anyway,
I had fun at the Under Armour thing. I hope we got to go back next year. I thought their stuff was really good. They got some real forward thinking. I'd like to see a bigger presence in CrossFit. I mean, James Newberry was there. James is a great dude.
James is awesome. We'll
Great.
hopefully have him on the podcast in a little bit to talk about. I'd love to hear more about his experience with them, because their Human Performance Lab does a lot of really cool testing, and they really leaned into him to help perfect the products and the shoes. And they also helped him prepare for last year's games, both physically, obviously with their gear, but also mentally. And they helped him with his training patterns, and they opened up his gym to him. And I think it will be really cool to hear from him on how their influence has helped him become the athlete that he has become. And top 10 at the games is no joke and a real improvement. He's come so far in the last few years. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him soon on his experience over here.
Yeah, they have the two CrossFit athletes. They have him and the Marquand Jones, who I love.
Yeah, who did great at the Mayhem Classic.
Yeah, that's why he wasn't at this thing, because he was
Right.
probably beat up from that event. But I wish they had more sponsored athletes. But they've also, they had Michael Phelps was there. I mean, they've got, I hate to say they have real athletes, but they have Olympians, and
Right.
Major League Baseball players, and Lindsey Vaughn was there. It's like
Yeah, she's so cool. Oh my God.
yeah,
Michael Phelps walked by and I was like, oh my God, John, look behind me. Look behind me. Stop pointing. And you were like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, look behind me. Michael Phelps is behind me right now. And I didn't know if it was him, and I was going to feel so stupid if it wasn't. But then he's like such a weird specimen of a human. Like,
yeah, he's huge.
he's huge. He's the weirdest shape.
Well, that's why he's a great swimmer. He's built like a swimmer. He's got those shoulders that are
Man.
wider than my house, and he's tall and lanky, and just
It's wild.
yeah, it was weird seeing those guys in person.
Yeah.
But they've got real athletes. That was kind of the point. So, I'd love to see them have more of a CrossFit space. But I do think this stuff they showed us, a lot of it fits in. It was kind of the point of this whole thing, is that, if you're looking for something other than Nike, Reebok, and No Ball, I think there's definitely some good options here. I'm going to keep testing it out. So if anybody has questions, you're welcome to DM me. I'll tell you, my thoughts on it. It's not going to be much different than we talked about here. Or you can just DM Niki and she'll send you boob photos, apparently.
Well, I'll send you pictures of my feet in the new Tri-Base Reigns too.
Yes.
If you want.
They'd be like, oh, I like your shoes, Niki, but could you send me one with just your feet?
Just your foot? That'd be great. Thanks. And I'd be like, oh yeah, of course. That makes total sense. What a normal inquiry. Here you go.
Yes.
Oh my God.
What
what we didn't talk about at all, and we should probably close with, is their whole training phrase, which is the only way is through. That's like their new marketing platform. That's what they're going to be using for the next 2 years. It took 2 years of thought to come up with it and how they want to frame their entire platform around it. And I just think that has really, really resonated with me ever since I learned about it last week. It just, man, it's such a simple thought, and it's a thought that we've probably all had in one way, shape, or form, but it is so real, huh? Like in training and in any difficult thing you do and in your entire life. Like, there is no going around, there is no shortcut, there is no bullshit. Like, if you want it bad enough and if it's worth it enough for you to have, the only way is through. I really like that. I've found myself saying it to myself a few times in the last week. You can say I drank the Kool-Aid because they put me up in the Four Seasons and brought me to a cool event, but I think it's really simple and elegant and brutal and honest and effective.
Well, you can still skip the warm-up by hiding in the bathroom. I would like to say that. It was funny. I was watching their little marketing thing as we were sitting there watching it, and I was getting hyped up.
Yeah, totally.
It was really fun. I mean, that's where marketing teams are good, and where this is a real pro marketing team. So I'm watching it. Going, man, I want to go work out now. I want to go scale something. It's gonna be awesome. And then I get back to my gym here in Cleveland, and I'm back to reality that I'm still a very mediocre athlete. But I do agree with the sentiment. And, I think it's a great marketing slogan. Like, just keep in the forefront of your mind that, life's hard. Like everything's difficult and there's
Yeah.
only one way to address it. You just have to hit it head on,
Yes.
and work your way through it. And I thought that was cool. I think they're trying to get into a space different than their competitors, or,
Yeah.
it seems like they're thinking about it the right way. Time will tell, where they go. They certainly made big strides in the last few years.
Yeah,
So
totally.
props to them.
Yeah.
And their CEO's a good looking man, bald head, about my height.
He like hit the stage and I'm like doing a double take where I like look at the stage and I look back at John and I look at the stage and I look back at John. I'm like, what? How are you in two places at
Yes.
once right now? You were like wearing the same thing. You both had like the glasses on. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the
Yes.
Twilight
He
Zone.
was a good looking man. Big props to him too. But
Yeah.
they were actually saying that dude, he rolls into their gym at like they have this really kick-ass gym right there on the campus,
Oh, so cool.
and they open at like 5:30, and he makes them open early. Like whoever runs it gets there at like at like 4:30 or 5, so he can come in and work out before work. I'm like, man, props to him, because like I don't have anywhere near as an important job as him, and I don't do that. I work out in the evenings.
Well,
I
it's
love
cool.
myself.
It's cool because he like walks the walk and talks the talk, right? Like I do. So I work in marketing and advertising full time, and I've worked for a few other very large sport companies that are Under Armour-ish, like in those verticals, just as big. And you'd be surprised how many people work in all sorts of different departments related to what those companies stand for they just don't have a vested interest. Like there's a ton of people that work in those verticals that aren't interested in sport and fitness at all. So the fact that he runs it and has a vested interest in it, I think is pretty cool. And
It made
stands out more than you might realize. Like you might be like, duh, obviously, how could you like be the CEO of Under Armour and not be into it? But you'd be surprised.
Well, it made me feel good about him. Grant, I'm CEO of Make What's Great Again. And
Patented.
yeah,
Yeah.
trademarked, bitch. But the thing I think is important for my page is I can make it relatable because I actually CrossFit. That's the point.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I think it bodes well for them that he should be able to at a minimum understand the relatability of fitness and the sport of fitness and what it takes to push through, because he actually goes out and does it, and he gets up early and does it, which means he's really
Mm-hmm.
committed. So man, big props to him.
Yeah.
And good job for them. He's their, I think he's their new CEO, so that's even cooler.
Yeah.
So good stuff. So fun trip,
Totally.
our first trip together.
I know. I loved it.
I know we didn't even fight. That's a sign for good couples. So
Perfect. We're gonna
yeah.
make it.
Yes. And we made some new friends, so that was even better.
We did. Yeah, that was really cool. Well, a lot of like-minded individuals there, which was fun.
All right. So next for you got Sanctional coming up though, right?
Yes.
Which one? Norwegian?
Norway is next. Yeah.
Norway. Okay.
And the following weekend, you are in Miami.
Yes. So for people listening, we're going to have kind of a new tact for the podcast. So Niki is going to be podcasting on location and picking up some interviews, sent her with some podcast gear. So that's exciting. And I'm going to try to do some of the same while I'm in Miami and capture some there. And then we'll continue to do this together and bring people on together, but hopefully allow us to get more content. So I think it's really cool. So if you know someone in Norway that you guys are dying to hear from, DM Niki. If there's somebody in Miami you're dying to hear from, DM me.
Well, and in general too, if there are specific athletes or players in and around the fitness space that you want to hear from, let us know, because we're in the middle of coordinating and trying to make schedules and things like that. And we'll reach out to obviously the people that we like and think are interesting. But if there's anyone out there who wants to hear from someone in particular, let us know.
And then this Tuesday, we are together interviewing Isi Sanowski, who is
fun.
The creator of the 800-gram challenge, who's I'm having back on, so I can tell her how horribly I did at eating all the fruits and vegetables over the last 4 weeks. Actually, no, it's been a lot of fun. So we'll get a chance to talk to her again and find out how that's going for other people too.
Yeah.
It seems to be a big thing right now.
She did my L1 a million years ago.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
She's a lot of fun. So I'm excited to talk to her and get more tips from her. I'm starting to find ways to get better at weighing and measuring and eating the things that she told me I should be eating.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I killed it over the last few weeks, particularly while we're in Baltimore.
No.
But I'm certainly getting better at it. So it'll be fun to talk to her.
Yeah. It's easier once you get in.
Yeah. So
your routine.
So she's
Travel
next.
always though. You can't. Oh, I think you just glitched. She's next. You're right.
Yeah, she's next. So it'll be all good. Travel is fine. I eat fine on a travel, other than that one big plate of French fries. So
I like
anyway,
brought my travel scale with me and everything over the last couple trips, and it just doesn't happen.
there's a travel scale. We'll talk
Yes,
about that
yes,
later.
there's a travel scale. It's a travel food scale. I searched travel food scale on Amazon and it was the first thing that came up and it was great. It was a great purchase. And when it got to my house, my husband was like, that's a drug scale. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's so I can like measure my peanut butter on the road. And he literally Googled the words drug scale. And it was the first picture that came up was the exact travel food scale that I ordered.
I feel like between the foot story and the fact that you have a drug scale, we need to have your husband on just to tell Nikki stories.
That would be like the worst idea ever.
Oh my, I'm gonna message him offline and go, look, hey dude, when Nikki's gone, I need you to log into her computer. We're just gonna do a
Oh
podcast
my
without her.
God. He should be on it because he's much more interesting than I am. But yeah, he totally called me out being like, are you gonna be like weighing all your weed when you're traveling on this thing? Like, oh my God, it's for my peanut butter.
Yeah, those are the Canadian sanctionals. That's the only place you can get weed.
Sure. If
Or
left to my own devices, I would eat the entire jar, so I need it.
there you go.
Hmm.
All right. Well, this was fun. So you and I'll see you again on Tuesday.
That's right.
And then for everyone listening, lots of great stuff coming up. Really excited about this year. We're also going to start putting all these on YouTube. So those of you listening, go over to the Make Wise Great Again YouTube page. You'll be able to start seeing these and our interactions, and they'll get better as we go. So don't judge me too harshly on the first few that we put out. But lots of new content coming. So with that, we'll let you guys get back to your evenings or day, whatever time you're listening to this, and we will talk to you again soon.